Com here with Big Al, Brian, Chris, and Ron Romanelli here with your live show. We are live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And of course, we are going through. We've got Major League Baseball and NHL. Yesterday, the Yankees no hit at home by the Astros, and the Astros really putting the hammer down on the Yankees this series, winning the last two games. And the only sniff of a win that the Yankees have gotten in this series was a miracle comeback where they were dead to rights in that game. I think the Astros, while the Yankees seem to hate the Astros guts and want to make a statement, it is the Astros making a statement here saying, you want to go to the World Series? Well, it doesn't happen by beating all these crappy teams that the Yankees have been beating up on, catching a lot of teams with a lot of injured players. It goes through us, and we'll beat you in your building. Wait till you get to our building, we're gonna throw you a beating there too. It has been, yesterday, the Yankees bats just nothing, just zip. Romanelli, I know you're a Yankee fan. Any concern?
No, not at all. It obviously was a surprise, but I still think the Yankees have the best lineup in baseball. But definitely the Astros are the team that they're going to have to. I think this is your top two teams in the American League right now. So I figured this was going to be a good series, and I think it'll be a good playoff series if we see it.
Chris, anything on the card that you saw yesterday? We saw the Brewers and your Blue Jays going at it. And this has been a series that's been dominated by the starting pitcher, so far in the first three games through this series. The team with the better starting pitcher has won. And the team that's gotten to the lead early has won. We saw the Blue Jays rally late and, almost get it off a hater there. So, Chris, what do you think? The Blue Jays now passed in the standings by the Boston Red Sox in the East.
Yeah, it's just been, a bumpy ride for the Blue Jays over the last couple of weeks, not really living up to expectations. The starting pitching rotation's falling apart, but I think the one team that's surprised me so far, even more so than how the Blue Jays have stumbled over, like I'd say, the last few days, are the Baltimore Orioles. I mean, continue to play hard against the White Sox, and now look at them. I think it was the fastest in at least 5 years they had reached 30 games by, I'd say, like a 20-game margin. And now they're at 34 and 39, looking to maybe get back to 500 by the All-Star break. And, I think that's been the biggest surprise for me so far, at least going in these weekend series.
Brian, Blake Snell not only can he not win games, as Big Al pointed out yesterday, he can't even avoid not hitting other players. Bryce Harper looks like thumb injury here. Who knows what this is going to mean for the Phillies, and who did manage to get the win, as lazy as they are. Any concern here for their MVP, of a guy who gets the MVP award playing for losing teams, and the team that gets rid of him wins the World Series when they get the year after they get rid of him? I don't know. What do you think? You think the Phillies without Harper now they win the World Series?
No, without Harper, the Phillies basically zero chance, because I think they play better when Harper's in the lineup. But last night was a disappointment for me because I was back in the Padres. I'm not an Eflin guy, but Blake Snell, maybe he does need to be moved to the bullpen. And then there were some other games. Washington Nationals was a letdown for me, as the Rangers, I believe, won it in the ninth.
About that. Anyways, Big Al, we've got that wasn't the question, but anyways.
I'm going about my disappointments over yesterday.
You go to Romanelli's video if you want to express your disappointments and tough losses. But go to the comments of his video. That is I lost my 11-team parlay on the bad beat on a -200 favorite thread is basically what that is going on there. It's like,
one time I saw. This is the most conservative 15-team parlay I can think of.
I love Ron's fans, the Roniacs, right?
Yeah, there we go.
They are the Roniacs, man. They love their big juice heavy favorites, and they love to parlay them up. Big Al, of course, hates the parlay. Some teams like the Dodgers and the Mets, these are the teams to watch with, Scherzer and DeGrom likely to come back here for the Mets, and they're absolutely rolling. And then you have the Dodgers, who are, they didn't win yesterday, but then again, they don't have, they didn't have their, they don't have their starting rotation. I mean, it's kind of, this is a team that kind of planned for Bauer to be there. And then, he's not there. And then all along now, the guys that they really thought were going to be there, Walker Buehler and, the Dodgers, they're not there either. They go out and make a big move again, like they did last year when they grabbed Scherzer.
I mean, I think, you can always count on the Dodgers making a move. You can always count on teams like the Yankees making a move, et cetera. So, a long way to go. We'll see what the teams look like in August before we begin worrying about the Dodgers. And there was something I wanted to say, and now it just slipped my mind.
Baseball is one of those weird sports where, it seems like in other sports, like in football, generally when teams acquire a player, it usually hurts the team that loses the player more than it helps the team that acquires. But baseball is one of those sports that it just seems to really help that acquiring team if you can get the right guy, especially a big gun starting pitcher like that, like the Dodgers do. It'll carry you all the way. But I just thought yesterday, just another interesting day. Just seems that no lead is safe in any game, and even it's baseball season, and we're heading towards the All-Star break, and we're 100 games left to play, still. So a lot of baseball left to be played, and I think a lot of divisions yet to be decided. I'm less of a believer in the Yankees than just about everything else. Everyone else I know on this panel, I think that they could certainly are certainly more than capable of a collapse and one of these other teams. When you have the Tampa Bay Rays sitting in 4th place in your division, I would be more nervous than feeling comfortable. That's for sure. So I don't know. I'm less than sold on that Yankees rotation. Less than sold. But we will see it. We'll see what happens. But we've got NHL action tonight, and Chris, it's the Avalanche and the Lightning for Game 6, and the Avalanche are 5-0 following overtime losses. So that trend, the overtime win and loss trend of all the trends, seems to be, because I know nothing about hockey, but I do it in my 7 free picks, right? So it's like I do give out picks there, and it's all based on the betting tools. And I know that the one that comes in the most in the NHL is that overtime win or loss trend. It is the strongest of all the trends in hockey. Am I just misreading it, or just coincidence, Chris, or you think there's something to that?
No, I think there could be something to it. I don't know if Game 5 ended in OT, but I think there is something to be said for.
It did not end. It did not end in OT. All right, so I was wrong. All right.
No, that's fine. But I do think there is something to that trend. I think there is something when you.
So what the hell? So stop. So never mind.
But we will mention.
Shows you how much I know about hockey. How closely I'm following this thing.
Yeah, it's okay. But you know what? I will say, I think this is going to obviously be a tight game with neither side wanting to budge an inch, wanting to be that team that makes the first key mistake. But I think this is a game where I'm going to really go after some player props here. And I rated the betting tools for these as well. And for the last 5, in terms of over 0.5 points, you got Victor Hedman, and then Mikko Rantanen, Cale Makar, and Nathan McKinnon. 3 Colorado players, usually on the same power play line, a power play that's hit at 40% in the Stanley Cup Finals. Love those 3 guys. And Victor Hedman, as much as I hate the Lightning, arguably the best puck-moving defenseman in the NHL. At least he's one of the best. And he had, I believe, a really nice almost coast-to-coast goal in Game 5 where he went backhand, caught the Colorado defense flat-footed. So I think you can parlay those 4 player props up. I think it was paying plus 360 when I last looked.
How about you, Ron? Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think we have a couple of our friends in the green room as well, but I'm going to take the under.
Got to show up on time. I mean, it's like, how hard is it?
But I think the Colorado Avalanche, a team that's got a potent offense. We know they're going to be able to score goals. They've done it all playoffs long, and even in the Stanley Cup against Andrei Vasilevsky. But I don't think enough is said about how good this defense is. I think Cale Makar and Devon Taves are two of the top 5 defensemen in the league right now. And although like Darcy Kemper is not an elite goaltender, he's no Andre Vasilevsky, he's still a Stanley Cup final goaltender. He's done a good enough job to get the Avs here. And I do trust this Colorado defense. We know the Lightning play a strong defensive style, very well-coached team with John Cooper. And I think Vasilevsky in a few years could be an argument to be the best goaltender of all time, at least in the playoffs. I mean, this guy shows up in the big games. So, especially in elimination games. So I like the under here. I could see another 3-2 or even a 2-1 kind of game in this spot.
El Ninos, what do you think?
I have to completely agree with what both guys said, and I like the under here. I mean, as Chris said, no one's going to want to make that first mistake. Ron mentioned how good Vasilevsky is, although he hasn't always been as sharp as he's been the last couple of seasons. He has turned it up a little bit in the playoffs, and definitely recently. So I do like this game to stay under the total. Yeah, I definitely go more on the 3-2 side than the 2-1, but I think it stays under the 6.
How about you, Brian?
Well, I guess we're going to make a bunch of agreement here. I agree with what Romanelli said. For me, I'm going to take the under and play it at an alternate total at under 5.5 to reduce that juice that you get at taking the 6. I just think it goes very similar to the last two. I think a very possible overtime with a 3-2 outcome here. So I like the under, but I would play it at 5.5.
Big Al?
Well, I'm just looking at the series odds right now at, minus 385 is the best price I see. And if you can get minus 385 on the Colorado Avalanche, that's a steal, because that implies that if it reaches a game 7, that Tampa Bay would have a 42% chance of winning that game 7, which I don't think is even in the ballpark. So I think right now at minus 385, the Avalanche are an absolute steal.
I'm with Big Al on this one. I'm all over the Avs in this one, but I'm not willing to lay the puck line. I think if anything,
I'm not saying to take the. I mean, what I'm saying is a series bet right now is that they're going to win either game 6 or game 7. Is what I'm saying.
I like them tonight in this one. I think they wrap it up. I think we had 6 in the NBA. I think we go 6 here with the road win in the NHL as well. But all right, well, that was exciting. Got Major League Baseball action today. Let's just do it the same way that we did it yesterday, where everyone will just kind of pick one game from the 3 that they liked, or one pick, or one something. It could be a prop, it could be a pick, it could be side total, or it could be a straight Ruffalo if need be. We got the Marlins taking on the Mets. Pretty exciting game yesterday. I had the Mets as my big play yesterday. And man, I mean, you want to talk about blowing chances and pretty much everything else. At least Pete Alonso decided that he wanted to hit the ball, thankfully. But you got Castano against Peterson there. You've got the Yankees. We'll see if anyone gets a hit today. We could go actually. They're on a hitless inning streak here. Kind of like the DiMaggio hitting streak, but going the other direction. So you got the Yankees here with Nestor Cortez in pure regression mode against Urquidy, and then you got the Rays and the Pirates, and 2 of the best pitchers in baseball that a lot of people have never heard of. You see a 6.5 in a McClanahan versus Contreras matchup. It's like a DeGrom Kershaw number, but it's just McClanahan Contreras, who I think is, like I said, 2 of the better pitchers. Big Al, what do you think of these 3?
Let's see. What were the 3? You said the Pirates, Rays, the Yankees, Astros, and
Marlins, Mets.
I forget the third.
Marlins, Mets.
Marlins, Mets.
Dave Peterson's pitching.
Yeah, I will just pass on these 3.
Straight Ruffalo.
These 3 games.
Straight Ruffalo. How about you, Brian?
I should just say straight pass too, but no, I got to provide some content here. I actually think this is a good slot here, but if I had to choose just one, I would take the Pittsburgh Pirates play probably at plus 1.5 here. I think that's the safer bet. We've seen the Pirates cover the run line the first 2 games this series, and you got 2 good pitchers going at it. I think we get 5 strong from Contreras. I think McClanahan goes 7 strong. So I see a 1-run Rays win, take the Pirates plus 1.5.
Yeah, Rays have been miserable as home favorites on the run line this season. And, you know, it is, what are we at here? 0-6 in their last 6 as run line favorites. Chris.
Yeah, I think we're going to go under 3 in the first 5 between the Rays and Pirates. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this stayed true to the final inning. I mean, this is potentially a really good pitchers duel. I think you got Shane McClanahan, who potentially, I think, leads the AL in ERA. Certainly doesn't strikeouts. Going to miss a lot of Pirates bats. I think Ryan Contreras is going to be able to match zeros with him for the majority of the game, but I think it's for sure going to happen in the first 5. So give me the under 3 first 5.
Romanelli.
Yeah, I'm looking at that Mets-Marlins game. 2 pitchers that I usually don't look to back, especially David Peterson. I'm really surprised to see him with a 4-1 record and that 3.18 ERA. I don't think it's going to be the case for the rest of the season, but I think this is a good spot for him because he's facing a Marlins team that just can't hit left-handed pitching. And Peterson just pitched against these Marlins, went 5 1/3, 7 strikeouts, no earned runs. Did give up a good amount of base runners, but the Marlins, they've been good at getting on base. They're miserable with runners in scoring position this season. And on the other side, Daniel Castano is another guy that I do think is going to regress quite a bit. But the Mets have also struggled against left-handed pitching offensively. So I'm going to take the under in that game. It's at a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Lone Depot Park. And I could see a 4-3 kind of game in the Mets' favor. So I'm going to take the under and lean towards the Mets.
Yeah, that's right. Didn't someone in the comments yesterday said the Yankees batting lineup was 20 times better than the Astros? 20 times 0 equals 0. Al Niños, what do you got in these 3?
Yeah, that was a pretty bad performance by that lineup yesterday. It was interesting timing on that comment too, but I think they bounce back here. The Yankees, they haven't looked good in this series, and as you mentioned, Cortez regressing a little bit. But I think he's still the better option here. Urquidy pitched well in his last outing, but he's up against a good lineup then too. But I just think it's too hard to keep these bats quiet for too long, so I'll take the Yankees -1.
How about you, Jovan?
Yeah, I'll take the Rays first 5. I expect a low-scoring game, but I also expect the Rays to get to Contreras just a little bit, maybe 1-2 runs, and I expect Shane McClanahan to completely shut this weekend lineup down. Who really hasn't been able to hit lefties all year, so take the Rays.
I'm going to take the Marlins here against the Mets. They have been pretty miserable this series. Even Alcantara couldn't beat the Mets. That's how bad they've been. But David Peterson just has a way with teams in making them look actually better than they are. And I think that the Marlins can do that. We saw the Marlins rally and find power from guys who really haven't even hit the ball at all yesterday. And I think that was an encouraging sign. They did let it go late, they pitched to Pete Alonso the time after he broke his bat and popped out with the bases loaded with 1 out. So an infield fly actually is what it was. So he broke the bat, the remainder of the bat over his knee, and pretty much threw a temper tantrum. So you knew the first pitch the next time he was certainly going to swing. So why you throw it right down the middle of the plate, I don't know. But I had the Mets, so I'll take it. But the thing is, I think that Castano is actually the much better pitcher here. And I think that the Marlins, that Romanelli's not giving him enough credit. And I think that what the Marlins are doing here is they're showcasing a lot of these pitchers that they have. They have the deepest pitching staff in all of baseball, the Marlins do. They're 10, 12, maybe even 15 deep. We're not even, we haven't even seen some of the guys that we've seen pitch quality innings for them. I think the Marlins are setting up for a run for next season here. I think that they're showing off guys, making them look like viable, candidates, and they're going to decide over the next couple of weeks or so who's sticking and who's going to go and who they're going to beef up that batting order with. And I think that, Castano is one of these guys that, hey, maybe you get, some serviceable player that can play, kind of like a Jock Peterson type guy, who they could really use in this lineup. And I think that, they have a lot to work with here. And it's like, I don't think it's going to be Alcantara or Lopez that they trade. But, we haven't even seen 6, though. You know, it's like we haven't seen him yet. So.
He's due back at the end of June.
Yeah, it's like when the guy they got from the A's last year, right?
Jesus
Luzardo, right? I mean, they're stacked. I mean, they are. There's only so many guys that can pitch for you. So it's like they have to be able to trade some of these guys somewhere in there for some quality bats. And if they do that, well, try and get into a 5-game playoff series or 7-game playoff series against Alcantara, Lopez. I mean, Luzardo. It's like they'll be Sixto. They'll be wheeling these guys out. I mean, it'll be like that Josh Beckett team, that Penny and Beckett, and that year where it was just. I mean, there was no way that the Yankees were going to beat them in that one. It was the Bartman year, right? That was the Bartman year. Anyways, yeah.
Pierre Bunny.
Juan Pierre. Good old Juan Pierre. Anyways. Got what are you selling today, Big Al?
I've got baseball and hockey today. Yesterday I was 4-2. The highlight was sweeping the board in the football games, and I'm going to have some big plays in the championship game on Sunday. So they're going to play the USFL title game this Sunday. And I should have both side and total in that game. And then I was 2-2 yesterday in baseball. The low light of my day, I had my Major League Baseball game of the month on the Yankees. They got no hits, so not what I expected. But I'll bounce back in baseball today, and I've got a Game 7 winner for you in hockey as well.
Brian?
Well, 1-2 day yesterday. Going to bounce back. I got my best bet, my NHL Titanium play for a price to fit every budget at pickdogs.com. Premium picks, or get my 3-pack. It's my money shot 3-pack. That NHL pick combined with the 2 best bets in Major League Baseball today for just $50.
Chris?
Yeah, for me, I got my $15 pickoff play. We hit our pickoff play yesterday. It's part of a 3-in-1 day with a push, and want to try to carry that over, finish the week strong. I got that pickoff play for $15. It's also part of my Sunday Slam MLB 3-pack for $39 at Pick Dogs Premium.
Ron?
Yep, got back to our winning ways in the MLB yesterday, looking to keep it going. Got my Ron's rundown. Scared me. I didn't see that coming. My Ron's rundown MLB best bet, and then I have a 3-pack, which has my top 2 plays in the MLB and then my NHL play.
Al?
Yeah, I got my weekly 5-pack with my 4 best MLB bets and my play in Game 6 of tonight's hockey game.
Jovan?
Yeah, I got my Show Me the Money Sunday Major League Baseball afternoon screamer. I have 4 plays and all single plays. So, that, the Laser Show, and a couple others. So, third straight winning day. Just looking to keep it going.
All right, I had a miserable day yesterday, but the one that I won was my $15 big play, the one that most of the premium purchasers were involved in. So if you're only going to win, if you're going to have a bad day, at least win that one. That's what I always say, win the one that you like the best and the one that you stand behind. Though I would rather win them all, that's for sure. And today I bounced back like I always do. So I'm ready for it. I've hit 3 in a row on the big play, and I love my big play today. Got a couple 3-packs. I'm going to hit this board hard. I really like today's card. Anyways, we move on. Brian, we've lost you. So hopefully he makes it back. If not, we'll speak for him. We'll put some words in his mouth. But, yeah, it's like, here we go. He's back. And we go to our next set of games. We've got the Guardians up against the Red Sox. The Red Sox 41-31, 8-2 in their last 10 games. Manager of the month. I'll tell you that much, man. You win with that pitching rotation. Hell yeah, man. Whatever, that's how you get it done. Twins against the Rockies and the Brewers against the Blue Jays. Big Al, what do you think of these 3?
Oh, I like a lot of them. So if I have to just pick one, let's go with the over in the Cleveland-Boston game. Cleveland 11-2 over the total in Savali's last 13 starts, 49-29 over versus left-handed pitching. Cleveland also 26-40 over at home in the daytime. So with this matchup, Hill and Savali, I think it's an easy over.
Brian?
I agree with what Big Al said about the
Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. It reset my audio as well. So hopefully
It
I'm back
happens.
on here. But I agree with Big Al on the over. I like that very much. But I also am going to, out of this grouping, take the Cleveland Guardians. I think Terry Francona might be the manager of the year. And Guardians, with Savali on the mound, who's definitely seen better years. But his last couple starts have been serviceable. And Rich Hill's a 5-inning guy. So I think neither one of these starting pitchers is going to factor into the outcome. I like Cleveland at home today on the money line.
I would say Francona's done a nice job, but I would say that Cora, 41-31 playing in the American League East, 21-15 on the road, 8-2 in their last 10, and he's got better numbers and worse pitchers. At least Francona's got a number one starter.
But what's the payroll difference between the two teams? I mean, Cleveland's one of the lowest, probably the bottom 3 payrolls in baseball, and to produce a winning team like that.
I'm going to guess the Red Sox that are actually on the field is probably not that high.
I know, not as high as
the guys that are actually on the field. I'm going to guess it's not that high.
I don't know. I mean, Trevor Story was a big contract. You got some big contracts: Bogarts, Martinez, Devers. I don't know how much he's paying. He might be on his rookie contract, but
true.
So no love for Aaron Boone.
No.
No.
Coming from a Yankees fan, no. I think I could win with that lineup and that rotation.
Whoa.
I still think what they're doing is impressive and more impressive than what Boston and Cleveland are doing.
Chris, what do you think of these three?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox as well. Yeah, Rich Hill is he is a 5-inning guy, and I've bashed him for it in the past. But the 5 innings that he's been producing lately have actually not been all that bad. And Aaron Savali's had a couple good starts, in his especially in his return from the injured list last time out. But it's going to take a lot more to convince me that Aaron Savali is sort of back on track, especially against the Red Sox team that's not just 8-2 in their last 10; they're 27-9 in their last 36 overall. So I got to go with the Boston Red Sox at the cheaper price here.
Romanelli.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough time slot. I thought today's card was pretty tough overall, but I'm going to lean towards the over in that Blue Jays Brewers game, at least in the first 5 innings. When you see this pitching matchup, Jose Barrios and Chichi Gonzalez, I don't think Chichi Gonzalez is a major league starter, but he has to get the start here because the Brewers have some injuries in the rotation. But I think the Blue Jays get to him early. I wouldn't be surprised to see him out by the 2nd inning. And Jose Barrios, although he's had some better starts recently, still his last start was miserable against the White Sox, and the Brewers are a very powerful lineup. Barrios has given up 5 homers in his last 2 outings, so he's susceptible to the home run ball, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game overall. But the bullpens with these two teams aren't bad, so I think you're going to have to see more scoring early than late.
Chichi's had a sub-6 ERA twice in his career, so it's been a while. But he's been sub-6 twice. He hasn't been sub-6.5 in a while, but he was sub-6 in the 2019 season, the 5.29, 2-6 record, 5.29, 63 innings, 11 home runs allowed. But I mean, it's tough to pass that 6.46, 18 home run season of 2021. Really was a banner year for him. Anyways, El Niños. Fiddler's like, how could I?
That's my kind of guy. Go Chichi. Mitch used to be on the Chichi fan club, but I take that over. I'm the new president.
Oh man. Sorry. Yeah, gotta love both the overs, both Big Al and Ron brought up. Hard to pick which one I like best, but maybe that Blue Jays Brewers over.
Convincing maybe. Jovan.
Oh, I love them both. I mean, yeah, I think it's the Blue Jays I like best, though. That Blue Jays over, sorry. Blue Jays Brewers over.
Yeah, I'm also on the Blue Jays Brewers over. The first 5, get in and get out. I love fading Chichi Gonzalez. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just, at this price, I wouldn't touch on Jose Barrios with a 10-foot pole. So, I expect a lot of runs. I expect them to at least get to 6 runs. A 3-3 ball game, 4-2, something like that. Or just one team just thoroughly dominate the other one. But either way, it's going to be one of those games where a lot of runs are scored early.
I don't know. Barrios in that 140, 145 range. I mean, the guy's a former first-round draft pick. We've seen the high end of him. It's not like Jordan Montgomery at minus 245. That's for damn sure, which is insanity. But yeah, of these three, I think certainly a lot of meat on the bone here. But to me, the Rockies to beat up on Joe Ryan here is all the way. First 5 innings taking the Rockies. Joe Ryan's had trouble finding the plate in his last starts, and no easier way to give up a lot of runs than struggle with finding the plate. I'm going to go with the Rockies' first 5 innings here against the Twins. Anyways, all right. We move on. I was just going to look for Ryan's numbers, but I know that it's been a struggle.
Since he's returned to the DL, he's had some issues, but I just love his talent level. So
I like his talent level, but I don't like the 7 hits allowed last time out, and I don't like the 5 hits, 4 hits. I don't know. 2 home runs against Seattle. Nothing pretty about that. Not exactly home run hitters. I don't know. Anyways, we move on. We've got the White Sox and the Orioles. It's been a disaster of a series here for the White Sox, who had a chance to really move up in the standings here with the Twins and Guardians both struggling, and they just weren't unable to take advantage of it. Today, it's pretty much do or die for them. You've got the Royals against the A's. It was all A's yesterday. The Royals came roaring back, just not enough. And then the Cardinals and the Cubs came back and tied it yesterday late, and then the Cardinals with 2 runs late to get it done against the Cubs. So Jack Flaherty on the mound, and boy, if they can get him rolling, the Cardinals are going to be super, super tough if you can get Flaherty to be what he's expected to be. Big Al, what do you think of these 3?
Well, Oakland got 9 runs yesterday, which was an anomaly. It's still a team which has scored 2 runs or less in 8 of their last 11 games, but even worse than that, they've scored 1 run or less in 7 of their last 11 games. So I think in this situation, I like the under here. Kansas City 8-2-1 its last 11 under the total. Oakland 7-4 under its last 11. I wouldn't be opposed to taking Kansas City either, but I think the better play is to take it under.
Brian?
Dylan Cease has been pitching lights out. Hasn't given up a run in his last 5 starts, I believe. So he's been pitching well. White Sox bats just aren't hitting. I'm going to take the under 8.5, even with my guy Jordan Lyles on the mound. I'm also going to lean to the Baltimore Orioles plus the 1.5. The Orioles 46-27 on the run line this year. I think it's a 1-run game, and Orioles keep it within 1. I'm going to go under as well.
Chris Ruffalo.
I'm going to go with the Baltimore Orioles plus 1.5 as well. Dylan Cease, for as dominant as he's been in that 5-start run that Brian just mentioned, where I think he's thrown 5 straight shutouts over 20 and a third innings of work. 3 of those games for the White Sox have been 1-run games, most notably against the Chicago Cubs to start that run. I think the Baltimore Orioles are playing well enough to keep it within a run, if not win the game outright. So give me Baltimore plus 1.5.
Favorite Tellez, Rowdy Tellez or Tony Tellez?
I like Tony Tellez better.
Yeah, slightly to Tony Tellez.
All right. Romanelli?
I've got Rowdy Tellez's rookie autograph, so I'll have to go with Rowdy. I'd like to get Tony's rookie autograph too, though. I'm going to agree with Senor Square and the under and the Orioles White Sox. Dylan Cease, like Brian mentioned, pitching really well as of late. And the White Sox have just really struggled against right-handed pitching. So even though Jordan Lyles, it's not somebody I'm looking to back often, I think he's good enough to keep this game low scoring. I lean towards the White Sox on the run line as well, though.
El Niños?
Yeah, as you said, it's been a very, very rough series for the White Sox. But if they can't win this one, I don't know. I don't know what they have to look forward to. So I have to take the White Sox -1 here with this huge pitching edge.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm on the A's and Royals over. James Caprillion, his A starts 7-1 to the over, 5.79 ERA, which is better than his season average, which is 5.98. On the other end, Brady Singer, 5-2 to the over in his starts with a 4.7 ERA in his last three. I got to take the over in this one.
Nothing screams under like Alec Mills on the hill for the Cubs, and I got to say the under is 8-1 in Busch Stadium in meetings between Cubs and the Cardinals in the last 9 meetings. I'm going under in this one as well. That one yesterday, I think squeezed. I'm not even sure it got over anyway, and yesterday either. But 8-1 to the under at Busch Stadium Cubs Cardinals games. So I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to ride it till the wheels fall off, especially with it bumped up to 9. We've got the Rangers against the Nationals. We've got the Giants taking on the Reds. And Jose Suarez is pitching. We got the Angels up against the Mariners. Suarez, you got a job. Big Al, what do you think?
Oh, I think nothing I really love in this grouping, but I take a look at the Cincinnati-San Francisco game last month. Tyler Mahle, 6 2/3 shutout innings versus San Francisco. The Reds are 16-8 in Mahle's last 24 road starts. I think at this price, Cincinnati here.
Right, in the COVID-shortened season of 2020, Suarez did put up that 38.37 ERA. Does he make your stable of starters with that?
I remember back in the day, the Angels with the Andrew Heaney and Suarez, they were all in
Berea. You had Berea.
They were all in they were the 4 horsemen of the starting pitchers for me. But for me in this game, I think I'll go with Gonzalez and the Seattle Mariners. I think we're getting a nice price with Seattle, who's playing some good baseball. They got the W yesterday. Gilbert only went 5, but I think Gonzalez does what he does, gives up a bunch of hits, but keeps the Mariners in it.
Chris, I know you're a Suarez guy. What do you think?
Well, first of all, I want Berea back. I think there's riots outside Angel Stadium with like a protest saying they want Berea back. And I don't know about the 4 horsemen; those might have been the 4 donkeys of the Angels rotation. But I think I'm going to go with the Seattle and LA Angels under. It's 5-1-1 so far this season. We had a push last night at 8, and I think this one's more about Marco Gonzalez. He's pitched really well in his last few starts, allowing 2 earned runs or less in 5 of 6. And I just expect this to be a low-scoring game. I don't expect this to get to double digits where that line's currently at. So give me the under 9.5 between the Mariners and Angels.
Ron?
Yeah, the one play that just missed my premium plays was the Cincinnati Reds on the money line. I think there's a lot of value on them, like Big Al said. Tyler Mahle pitches really well on the road, and like he said, 16-8 in the last 24 road starts. The Reds are. He already pitched very well against this Giants team not too long ago, and Anthony DeSclafani has got a 7.71 ERA. He may not be pitching that poorly, but he still has a big issue with the home run ball. He can miss some bats, but the only reason why it wasn't a premium is because the Reds lineup, I don't trust it too much. I think they do enough here to keep this game close, and the price you're getting, I think it's worth it. So I'll take Cincinnati plus money on the money line.
Al Ninos?
I'll go with the Giants and Reds over with 2 pitchers not doing their best and the wind blowing out a little bit.
Jovan?
Yeah, I'm also on the Cincinnati Reds. This is actually one of my parlay plays for the video that I do. So, Tyler Mahle, 2.14 ERA in his last 3. DeSclafani coming back from the IL, gave up another 5 runs in his first start since April. And, I expect him to give up a few more runs in this one.
When does a guy with a 4.24 ERA have an ERA that's less than half of what his ERA was last season? When your name's Glenn Otto, that's when it is. I'm taking the Nationals all day and twice on Sunday. I mean, this guy's pitching way above his pay grade. There is no way he is minus 175 pitcher on any day against any professional team. I'm taking the Nationals in this one. value alone, and just because I think that this just shows you how skewed the odds are with betting sweeping across the country. I mean, in a game that was super tight yesterday with the Nationals and the Rangers, in a series that, these teams are super even, I like the Nationals today to take care of business against Glen Otto. And the Nationals have been hitting, man. They have really been hitting. I think they hang up a double digit here on the Rangers in this one. Go with the Diamondbacks and Tigers. Dallas Keuchel back in. He's got a paying gig. I wonder if the White Sox have to pay him to pitch for the Diamondbacks. You got the Padres and the Phillies. I wonder if there's going to be maybe a little plunk of one of the Padres star players in this one. And then you've got the Braves against the Dodgers. Big Al, what do you think?
I like Yu Darvish here in the Padres. He threw 7 shutout innings versus Philly in a game last month, a 2-0 win. Padres at home when priced from -125 to -175, 70 and 41 plus 10.2 net games. I'll take San Diego.
Brian?
It's really tempted to take more than one pick in this slot, but I'll cut it down to one. I'm going to also take the San Diego Padres on the money line. Yu Darvish has been fantastic lately. Last 22 innings, just 1 run given up, and you got Kyle Gibson on the road. I think the Padres want some revenge from yesterday. I'll take them on the money line.
Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Braves and Dodgers first 5 under. You got Tony Gonsolin leading one of the NL leaders in ERA, and Spencer Strider. He got roughed up in his last start, but this is a guy that can hit 95 to 100 on the gun regularly, and I just think this is going to be one of those games where it's low scoring into the middle innings, and if we're going to get a lot of scoring, it's going to come later. So, give me the under in the first 5 between the Dodgers and Braves.
So you're saying if Strider was a racehorse, last game out was a throw-out race?
Yeah, I think so.
Throw it out. Okay.
I think so.
Ron?
I'm going to probably get a little emotional going over this Tigers D-backs game. Just these two pitchers mean a lot to me, Bo Brisky and Dallas Keuchel. Fading Bo Brisky this season has made me a better man, and Dallas Keuchel is near and dear to my heart and my bank account. I think this is the type of game where instead of betting on it, I'm just going to get a nice cup of chamomile tea in my robe and just enjoy it and sit back and relax. But I got to lean towards the over. I don't even care what the hitting stats are. I know the Tigers can't hit to save their lives, but it's Dallas Keuchel and it's Bo Brisky. So for me, over all the way.
I think I could hit Keuchel.
Really thought Brian was going to say he had chamomile tea and a robe on standby.
They're going to Zoom watch it together. Al, what do you
Okay,
got?
hold on. Who's got the fireplace in the background? That's what I want to.
Why was Bernie the Brewer wearing a Santa outfit yesterday?
I don't. Well, the Angels are doing that too with the Christmas. I don't know if it's like Christmas in June or something. I don't know what they're doing, but everything in Angel Stadium is all Christmas themed.
And it was the 25th yesterday, so
I guess that's why Christmas in June.
Halfway to Christmas.
Mm. Mm-hmm. There we go. Yep.
El Niños, what do you think?
I gotta agree with that over again with Ron. Detroit and Arizona, wind blowing out a little bit, and it's been rough for these pitchers. So I like both teams to get going today, and I like both teams. Just looking at the team now, just go with the full game over. You could bet on the team totals as well, but I think full game over. I think they both get close to it, actually.
Jovan, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm on the under in the Dodgers and Braves game. Full game though. I think there might be a little bit of scoring in the beginning of the game, and then settle down late. Tony Gonsolin's been pitching well, all season. His road splits are good. Strider is at home. He has a 4.84 ERA that I don't like, and 4.80 ERA in his last 3. So I do think that it might push up against the first 5 number, the total at least, and then you'll see some the bullpen come in the late innings and think get by. So I think it brushes right up against that 8.5 that we currently see in maybe like a 5-3 game, somewhere around that range. But I think it stays under.
I like the Braves here against the Dodgers. I like the way Dansby Swanson is swinging the bat. He's obviously done some work on his swing. I watched last night when he hit that game-winning home run, and I'll tell you what, it looked like my golf swing. He had that elbow tucked in on this side, and you could see where he's generating the power. I do the same thing. I'm not a big guy, and that's how I generate my power the same way in my golf swing. It's keep the elbow tight in, and he did that, and you could see he didn't even get really all of it, and he drove with his legs in his midsection. It's just like textbook. It's like that's like when I really rip a golf shot. It's exactly that same motion that he hit. So I like the Braves. I think Dansby Swanson's on fire right now. It's the best I've seen him ever
hit the
play.
game-winning home run, Mitch.
I can't hit a game. Believe me, I was a terrible baseball player. I wish I knew this. I'm telling you, I've told this story before on the show. I pitched batting practice in high school. I was on the baseball team. My big gig on the team was to pitch batting practice, and my English teacher was the coach of the team, and I would just plunk him, all day long when he would hit fielding practice. I would plunk him at least once a day. I've been hit with a baseball in the head twice as a batting practice pitcher. Once off a bat, and once a guy from the outfield throwing it in. I didn't even see it hit me in the back of the head, knocked me out face first onto the mound. Anyways, we got parlay time. Big Al parlay prop. Anything going on today? Horse pick.
I'm not huge. Well, I did hit my parlay yesterday with the Philadelphia Stars, and I forget who the baseball play was. I think I will do the Avalanche to win the series at minus 385, parlayed with the Padres and Yu Darvish at, minus 160-ish. And there you go.
Brian?
I'll take the Pittsburgh Pirates plus 1.5. I'll take the San Diego Padres in the money line, teamed up with the Cincinnati Reds in the money line.
Chris?
I'm going to go with that player prop parlay from the NHL game. All over 0.5 points. Victor Hedman, Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar, and Mikko Rantanen plus 360.
Ron?
Yeah, I'm going to parlay the Cincinnati Reds on the money line with the over in that Tigers D-backs game.
El Ninos?
The over in the Tigers Diamondbacks, over in the Blue Jays game, Blue Jays Brewers, and we could just stick to that.
Jovan?
Tampa Bay first 5, Blue Jays Brewers over first 5, A's Royals over. Let's see if we can hit this one like I hit yesterday on the show.
Washington Nationals under in the Cubs Cardinals with the Kansas City Royals. Mitch, thanks for joining us. We appreciate each and every one of you. Make it a winning day. It's fun round table style here. Probably change back to the other style when we get closer to football season and have more things going on. Spend a little one-on-one with everyone out there, and give everyone more of a chance to show up and hone in on a game. But this is fun in the meantime, and we'll see. Maybe we'll do it the other way too. Who knows? We'll figure it out when we get there. Have a great day, everyone. We appreciate you. That's about it, right?